competencies. This is your expertise. This is where you shine. This is where you know that you know it like the back of your eyelid. Okay? We have to understand that every industry has, marketing itself has so many aspects to it. I had to pick which area am I going to specialize in, and how do you figure that out? Which one are you good at? That you know even in your sleep, you know it. And I would like you to identify your core competencies. Every industry, every business has at least 2 or 3 that you really shine in. That you know without a shadow of a doubt, this is how I'm going to make this thing happen. Okay? You don't stumble around it, you know it. And I'll help you to get started. For instance, visionary people's core competencies is strategy, execution, and optimization. I love strategy, I love to get things done, execution, and I love to enhance things. So those are our core competencies. If you came to me and you asked me about branding, yes, I can help you with branding. I can show you the basics on branding and show you how we're going to make it happen. But I'm always going to trip back into my core competencies. Well, now we need to strategically take you to the next level. And here's how we're going to do it. Strategy, execution, optimization. So if you came to me and says, I want to put my logo here, and da-da-da-da, I'm not a graphic designer. That's not my lane. I can refer you to the appropriate person. However, when you get your graphics, now we need to strategically use it to optimize what you're doing. So think about your core competencies, the things that no matter what, you always kind of fall back into it. And like I said, every industry has 2 or 3. Go ahead and jot those down, because you're going to need that, because we're going to go down and build your USP. You know what Hootsuite is? Okay, we'll talk about it. Don't worry about it. I got you. No, you're good. You're going to be so sharp out of here. You're going to run out of here and just do some serious things. When you have a system such as Hootsuite, it allows you to do a one-stop way of communicating. It allows you to automate and create a turnkey system for the way that you handle your online communication. So you can pull in all your social media sites, and then from there you can schedule when to communicate, how to communicate. That is your social media campaign. You can do sales, you can do communication, you can do information, blogs, articles, hey, how you doing? Come to the event. You can schedule it out so that you can free up your time to go and handle your actual business and be a CEO of your company. Because if I'm always at the computer doing social media, click, 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 it takes a lot of time. Who knows that social media takes a lot of time? It takes a lot of time.
30 hours a day.
Easy. It takes a lot of time because you have to be able to get in and communicate. On Twitter itself, when you're on Twitter, the only way to have the most effective Twitter is if you are at least dropping a minimum of 7 to 10 tweets a day. And that's like below average. Most people are hitting it 3-4 times an hour. How do they do that? Focus on media. How do you get the media to say, I want you? How do you actually write a press release? The contents that's in it. That's one of the boot camps we do, is media frenzy. But when you think about that, it's not, don't think you just put up a whole bunch of pretty pictures and a couple of links. Journalists went to school for years to get a degree in this. So media releases, and again, if you don't have a pitch or a hook, what's going to happen to your press release is going to be priority filed. Media still readily accepts fax press releases. Email press releases are a little bit more tighter because now you have to be careful of spam. Okay, Pam's going to talk about how to handle those things. Spam. Plus also, what happens if I never heard from you a day in my life and all of a sudden you start sending me media releases? I don't really know who you are. I may not even pay attention to your email when it comes across. So when you try to do things online, you have to make sure that, especially in media, you send out press releases, media releases, you have to make a good connection. Even if it's at first, you send a letter, an email letter, I'm introducing myself, I'm in such and such, I'd like to send you whatever. Again, that's if you're in media. Or you have whoever your media person is to start doing those things. If you're not writing a good media release, it's not going to be as effective. Because here's what they want to know. Who, what, when, why, where. Never fails. But it has to have a pitch or a hook, and it has to be applicable to what's happening today. If you had an event that happened 2 weeks ago and you try to send a recap of a press release, save yourself the aggravation and don't send it, because it's old news. It's old news. They don't care. It's gone. You have to keep things nice and tight. Another good thing to keep in mind, and again, I'm just touching base on this because we actually have a boot camp that focuses on media, is whenever you want media to come to something, you can send news releases out a month ahead of time, 2 weeks ahead of time. You send immediate media releases or press releases within that 5-day window period, closer to 2 days. Why? Media figures out what they're doing the night before the day of, when they're coming to cover you. It's another story when you're looking to get interviews leading up to something. It's another thing when you want media to come and cover you. They don't just get their calendar out and plot you on the calendar 30 days out. They don't do that. Okay?
Should you send something out earlier and then another thing? Okay.
What you're sending out in the beginning, you're sending out just basically information to let you know what's coming. I'm telling you what we're fixing, what we're solving, what problem we're, what's applicable to the time. And then you can put interviews available. You're requesting interviews because you're letting them know, I want you to interview on promotion. But when you want them to actually come to your event to cover it, to write a story or something like that, they're not plotting that on their calendar 30 days out. Okay? And that's magazines, radio, TV, online, offline. Okay?
And they're looking for something that's going to pop.
Exactly.
The attention of the market.
Exactly. And then the thing about that too, you may send out a news release and they may intend to come. You might not get a call until 24 hours of the day of. Oh, by the way, such and such, we're coming out to cover. Okay, thanks. Make sure I have a seat for you. They may not even call. They might just come to see how things work. So whenever you have anything going on, if you're not proficient in sending media releases, it's nice. If you're sending it, you don't know what you're doing. I say that with all due respect. All you're doing is practicing and having a good time. Okay? Because it has to have information that they want.
Yeah, it's not connected to your email, though. Who tweets more for your social networks? So for Facebook and Twitter posts. Okay. But not for your email. Okay. So now, here you can map out your communications on the calendar so that you can see, because you also want to think, if you're a holiday-driven business, then you want to make sure that you're mapping the holidays out so that you're sending out your communications for those particular holidays. You want to give yourself enough time to send out an announcement, send out a reminder, and then send out that last-minute reminder. You want to space out enough so that you aren't over-communicating to your audience, because if you email them too much, then they'll also unsubscribe from your list. Okay, so this gives you a chance to really get a visual of how you're going to send out your communications and to stick to that plan. The reason I like this particular plan is because then you can also start tracking your results. So you can see what's going on with your communications over time. I happen to notice, in February, my opt-out rates went up a lot more. Well, what did I do? Oh, I might have over-communicated. I sent too many emails, too close together. So maybe I over-communicated and people started opting out of my list. Or I noticed one particular month, I got a lot of opens. What was I talking about that particular month that so many people were interested and it was so relevant? I don't want to go down that road again because this is giving me some good results. So you're able to see what's going on with your communications over time when you start tracking this. Okay.
I wanted to say that I thoroughly enjoyed the boot camp. The information was invaluable. I highly suggest that other small business owners attend and gain this valuable information to further their business, to grow their reach, and to be successful reaching the contacts in the community that will help to provide a way for their businesses to grow and prosper.
Okay, the boot camp was awesome. I think it was a great investment of my time because even though I'm personally not on the marketing side of my business, it made me aware of what goes on the marketing side of the business so that I can relay that to my employees.
Natasha, outstanding course, business boot camp. I'm telling you, it really opened up my eyes to the things of how you market for business and the terminologies that I had never heard before and the strategies that you gave me. Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. And I'll certainly be back for boot camp, business boot camp number 2.